Hey guys, and welcome to a new special series of videos dedicated to ultra modded Skyrim. This video series is about to share my current ultimate mod list, which counts more than 1300 of mods, to you, show its core, all needed settings, and of course demonstrate the actual gameplay. Most likely you may have already seen my 2018 ultra modded versus vanilla comparison video or a 4K graphics showcase. If not yet, they both are linked in video description and annotations here. The difference of videos recorded on my modded setups from most of videos you can see on YouTube everywhere is they are fully playable in actual walkthrough. You can easily achieve the same result by using my modding guide, and this exact video is all about configuring the main gameplay mods of this setup directly in-game to save your time. In my humble vision, the ultimate mod list is not only when you have tons of mods, but most important is for all these mods to blend seamlessly, keeping your game 100% stable, those mods compatible with each other and playing great alongside, giving you brand new yet indistinguishable and immersive gaming experience. And that's why I'm starting this video series, to share this setup with you in details. My mod list is a comprehensive setup that covers everything in the game, even something you maybe was never aware of, from the biggest mechanics till the tiniest details. It makes your gameplay very challenging yet incredibly rewarding, gives total overhaul to silly vanilla AI, improves all in-game factions, dialogues, followers, all creatures, loot system, immersion parts, magic perks, everything. And of course adds countless amount of new quests, new lands, creatures, items, survival elements, new combat mechanics and so on. You name it, we have it. This mod list is for those who want to have 200% of modding capabilities in your game, from fixes to next-gen improvements and additions you always wanted to have in Skyrim, while still keeping the game lore-friendly and immersive. This video is all about tweaking the MCMs, so-called mod configuration menus, of dozens of core mods, everything to adjust main settings, balance the gameplay difficulty, and show some details you might be interested in. Let's go! Most of MCM settings, besides some direct ones that you should make for compatibility, are completely up to you of course. But if you trust my vision of game balance, you can just mimic my settings from this video, so your game will be greatly challenging and rewarding at the same time. Also, for proper leveling speed, it is advised to download my personal uncapper init settings. You can find the file in my gameplay guide files section, linked in video description. Also, important note about MCM usage: when you made all changes you need in certain mod menu, exit the MCM and then open it again. This is ensuring all changes will be applied. Now let's give a game just a few seconds to load, because this amount of mods is not a joke, right? And while the game itself is stable, starting a new game with your data folder weight around 270 GB requires a bit to load everything for the first time. Now we will start tweaking our mod configuration menus, and I will be briefly describing the mod's functionality in process. As you can notice, we have quite a lot, around 60 mod configuration menus, and that's quite exciting. The aim-fixed combat camera is a successor of the mod previously known as 3PCO. It makes third-person camera work similar to modern AAA games, greatly increasing your combat experience. All the settings here are mostly pretty cosmetic and up to you. One thing though I can recommend for sure is to set your field of view to 90. For big mod lists, you should always have slower leveling speed to not ruin the game progression feeling. It is recommended to use my uncapper init file, which you can get from my gameplay guide files. To fit this concept, some spell experience from Apocalypse spell pack should be adjusted as well, as they are not affected by uncapper directly. Aziz is our Magic Wand mod, simply essential one and unique in its functionality. It is distributing new perks and spells to NPCs and allows humanoid enemies to use potions same as you. Here we only need the potion related settings. 20% is the recommended value. Atlas map markers. Purely cosmetic marker settings in MCM, configure as you like it. Auto-equip ammo. Both features options are up to you. I would recommend to tick on sets features, it is quite useful. If you will be playing with followers, enable follower support later as well. The Beasts of Tamriel is a great mod that adds a lot of both aggressive creatures and non-aggressive creatures and animals to the game world, compatible with popular other creature mods, like Immersive Creatures or Skytest. The only drawback here is some of creatures are really non-immersive, even as for wide Elder Scrolls canon, and some other creatures just have really weird-looking models, roughly made and with ugly seams. Most of the mod's creature additions are great though, so if you wanna keep it and just get rid of irrational and badly looking creatures, make the same choices in settings as I did. You can also always make a test spawn of creature to decide yourself. Campfire is one of core survival mods, allowing you to build tents to rest and improve your survival skills in form of new special perks. Most of changes here are cosmetic too and a matter of taste. Most cozy part is the ability to customize mod action hotkeys as you like. Carantir Tower Reborn is maybe one of the most unique player home modes ever made in history. An expandable magic mansion with own per-quest line and endless amount of useful features. It is of course more fitting the mage characters, but you can fully tame it as any class. It will be just a bit harder for non-mages. But what it can offer to you is more than worth it and just charming. Closing and clutter fixes. Make sure all left options are ticked on, the right one is up to you. Complete alchemy and cooking overhaul, or just cackle, is the biggest, best and simply the most amazing mod related to alchemy, food and drinks. It is incredibly complex, yet blending into the game seamlessly at the same time. Hundreds of new ingredients and recipes to alchemy, cooking and brewing, new plants, potions, waxes, bandages, farming, and even throwable alchemical bombs. A note about balance: if you are aimed on really harsh survival experience, enable hunger and fatigue penalties. This will accumulate and play greatly together with mods like I Need or Frostfall if you have them. If you're not that much into hardcore survival, disable them. Complete Crafting Overhaul Remade is the same gigantic mod from the same beautiful author, but now for everything crafting related. It turns utterly boring and dull vanilla crafting process into something you will be actually interested in, into enjoyable process, completely changing that repetitive, silly vanilla crafting. Deadly Dragons is one of the pillars in turning dragon fights into something you will remember, adding customizable dragon power sliders, new dragon species and new skills to them. If you don't want to fail many quests, make sure to tick on important NPCs protection in MCM. It may not be very realistic, but effective and save you from many butt hurts. But it is up to you, of course. Deadly Dragons also allows you to convert dragon souls into perk points with configurable ratio. The important moment here, it is recommended to use Deadly Dragon's Assault feature, so enable and configure it. Tweaking the dragon powers is absolutely up to you and you can change the settings anytime you want, making dragons as strong as you see it fitting. Diverse Dragons collection is all about new dragon species, an absolute champion in this niche, adding almost 30 new absolutely unique dragon types. And the most pleasing detail here is that you can enable or disable any of them, tweaking the mod up to your taste. If you are a lore maniac, there is also one-click super lore friendly preset in the last section of MCM. Dual Sheath Redux allows to see both of your weapons on your back, as well as placing shields on back and so on. Dynamic Vampire Appearance is a great visual mod that greatly diversifies vampires' look depending on hunger stage. Settings are purely cosmetic and up to you. Dindalot is a supreme tool to greatly improve distant terrain look and add 3D tree lots. In its MCM, you don't actually need anything, it is purely for statistics. Extensible Follower Framework is an amazing mod for follower control, and what is important, it is not swarmed with glitches like many other similar mods. All settings in it are purely a matter of taste and your feeling of comfort. Dragon Combat Overhaul is a gem of dragon mods, an essential friend in your setup. While other mods are improving dragon stats or giving them new skills, this mod improves their AI, making them much smarter. They can even shout to call nearby dragons to help, for example, wishes, and the most important, adding real physics to all their actions. Important detail here is Deadly Dragon's assault system is better organized, and so it is recommended to disable this mod assault system, applying same settings as I did in the video now. The Enhanced Blood Textures MCM settings are purely cosmetic as well, totally up to you. Enhanced Skyrim Factions Companions Guild is the most immersive mod for this faction. Realistic requirements for ranks progression, logical relationships with other factions, new types of choices and consequences, new quests, and a lot of lore details. In MCM menu, you can adjust how hard some conditions will be and some other misc options. Extended UI settings are also up to you. The only setting you need to check here is aspect ratio of your monitor. FNISP CR2 mod is a super useful mod that allows you to have multiple animation variants for same actions, weapon animations, jumping and so on, which you can switch only for your character anytime in-game. Gist Soul Trap is a successor of the mod called Smart Souls, which many of you used, I believe. Its general function is to make, let's say, smart feeling of soul gems to prevent that silly situations when petty souls are feeling grand soul gems and so on. Gist is much more feature-packed and adjustable, plus it has immersion leveling feature for realism lovers. It allows to capture or craft certain souls and soul gems only after a certain skill level. Immersive Coverage of Winterhold is a must-have mod, no matter are you planning to play as mage or not. It gives a complete overhaul to coverage in every matter. Greatly expands the coverage itself, rebuilds in lore-friendly manner, adds new cells, many new NPCs and greatly increases magical presence and NPCs AI in general, transforming college into something worthy to be called a magical guild. Besides that, it adds new quests, new immersive ways to study magic schools, new dungeon under the college, and new logical choices to the main questline. Immersive armor options are subjective as well. They allow great customization of all armors in the mod, to choose if you want certain armor, for example, to be light or heavy, and the crafting options. Skyrim Immersive Creatures is the biggest and most all-embracing creature mod ever made. It adds hundreds of new creatures, logically placed in fitting places all over the game world. Its second greatest advantage is everything in the mod can be adjusted, from enable or disabling certain features and creatures that may be not very lore friendly to spawn rates and creatures' power levels. Immersive HUD options are cosmetic and purely up to you. Mod allows great customization of HUD. Imperious is an amazing racial powers and abilities overhaul that turns boring vanilla racials into something you want to use, effective on every game stage, yet being greatly balanced and lore friendly. Moreover, it distributes these new racials to NPCs as well. Improving challenge in combat. MCM provides some options for roleplay and balance purposes. Inigo is the most amazing follower mod ever. You know it most likely, but if not, try it for sure. It will totally change your vision on follower mods in general, because Inigo acts as a real, alive person. Keep in mind that original mod itself does not have MCM, and for this you need to additionally install mod called Inigo MCM. In this menu, you can balance Inigo strengths to a certain level fitting your gameplay difficulty. Jackson's Positioner is a pure utility mod that's mostly needed for YouTube authors and screen archers. You most likely will not need it. The Lanterns of Skyrim is a well-known immersion mod that carefully places lanterns alongside roads and the settlements. If you're using towns and villages overhauls, as well as exterior lighting mods, it is pretty much recommended to disable lanterns in villages for better compatibility. Legacy of the Dragonborn, I think, does not even need a presentation today. Biggest ever adventure and treasure hunting mod that, via its unique design, literally makes you play the game again and again, adds amazing bounty hunter quests, literally hundreds of new unique artifacts, and chance to found and expand your own explorer's guild. MCM configuration options are mostly utility and partially for testing purposes. You can adjust them as you want, and Legacy Checklist MCM you don't need at all. Lucian is a relatively freshly released and constantly updated follower mod that is most likely the best mod in this category released in last 2 years. It also plays greatly together with Inigo, and it's just my personal recommendation to use him. In MCM menu, you can check his stats and assign his combat style. Minty Lighting is a simple yet genius mod that's adding lighting strikes during thunderstorms to Skyrim. MCM settings are about lighting visuals, frequency, and so on. The Mystic Condenser is a simple mod that adds magical condensers to various cells in Skyrim, allowing you to mix several weaker soul gems and potions into more powerful ones, to put them at least into some use. Not so fast main quest is needed only for people with alternate start mod. Those who are using Skyrim Unbound don't need it. In its menu, you can adjust the delay of certain main quest stages if you want to play as non-Dragonborn character for some time. Organized Bandits in Skyrim, or just Obis, is the most complex and original bandit mod ever made in history. Bandits is the most common enemy in Skyrim, and these enemy factions deserve in-depth overhaul which Obis gives to it, adding dozens of new, lore-friendly bandit factions while keeping their spawns logical, adding bandit raids and more. In its MCM though, it is recommended to change nothing for balance purposes. Only make sure the bandit potion option is unchecked, as Aziz already handled this. Ordinator is a perk overhaul mod from the most active and talented mod author of Skyrim modded stage, Inai. Options in MCM menu are mostly modification and utility related. The only scene I would recommend to toggle for sure is timed block squelch, as this modification most likely will annoy you. Poisoning Extended is a simple yet needed mod which allows you to first of all see your current poison name on weapons, add or remove poison doses so you don't need to open inventory after each single weapon swing. The only thing you should keep in mind is you need to manually adjust those sliders if you have some mods that are increasing poisoned weapons usage. For example, if you have Ordinator perk that doubles poison usage, you should double value on slider 2. Relationship Dialogue Overhaul adds over 5,000 voice dialogue lines to NPCs all over the game world, making them much more to say than in vanilla game. MCM is completely up to you. Here you can adjust frequency of new dialogues, voice types and so on, and to be honest, I would recommend to keep everything as is. Run for Your Lives is an essential mod to prevent townfolks like traders and grannies from silly finding their end from dragon and vampire attacks. You should not actually do anything in its MCM. Sacrosanct is an all-in-one vampire overhaul which gives new powers to both vampire and human forms, more than 30 new perks to Vampire Lord, vampire ranks progression system, immersive feeding system, vampire quests and more. Configuration is mostly up to you. The only option I would strongly advise to decrease is age speed. With a big mod list, set it to 60% or even 50 or 40% from normal. Sky UI. Well, that's Sky UI. Here I have only two hints. First of all, if you're using new animated Sky UI icons mod from El Sopa, which is of course very recommended, you need to choose Celtic icons type. Secondly, to prevent often happening SVF map error when opening the map when using Atlas map markers, go to Advanced and disable map menu option. And here is how animated icons are looking like, by the way. Sky Birds is a great immersion mod that displays some birds in forested areas and towns. They are flying, singing, nesting and so on. For script's performance sake, I would recommend to set spawn limiter to 20. You will still notice enough birds, but not too much to possibly overload game script engine. Spell Research is, in my humble opinion, one of absolutely essential mods. Instead of just somehow magically learn a spell by destroying the book you're reading, feel the immersive, interesting, rewarding system of Spell Research. Study, read, make magic formulas, practice your spells, meditate, in order to become a true mage. MCM settings are mostly cosmetic, but it also has useful guide inbuilt into MCM, which will be very useful if you're using this mod for the first time. Strange Runes mod is adding mystic looking glowing glyphs when you are casting spells. MCM settings is up to you. You can disable this for NPC, for example, to feel yourself somewhat special, and so on. Summer Mist, amazing mod that adds dozens of new enchantments to the game. For balance purposes, don't forget to enable Fortify skill caps. TCBM, Thieves Guild for Good Guys, is a great faction add-on that allows you to have much more choices during all Thieves Guild quests, greatly improving roleplay part for this guild, allowing you to play as sort of Robin Hood type of thief. Note, it is recommended to use Thieves Guild Requirements version. It is a bit older one, but it is compatible with the named mod, losing just a bit of features from this mod, but allowing to play with Thieves Guild requirements. Tentapalooza is an add-on for Campfire, which adds plenty of new thematic tents for different playstyles. If you're playing with mods like Frostfall and Wet and Cold, don't forget to enable rain and snow protection in its MCM. Thieves Guild Requirements is a great realism mod to make Thieves questline feeling more rewarding depending on how good thief you actually are. TK Dodge mod allows you to dodge in combat to avoid damage, similar to Witcher games combat for example. Most of settings are matter of taste. One I would recommend to set to at least 20 for balanced combat is a stamina cost. Trade and barter is a complete overhaul to trading system in Skyrim, from locational prices and system of vendors' attitude to you based on manufacturers, to actual speech skill effect on trading conditions and more. Don't forget to start the mod in MCM, and then, if you want to have trading much more realistic but still not much hardcore, balanced trading rates, I recommend to just mimic my settings. Ultimate Combat is a combat mod from TK Dodge author, compatible with other popular combat mods. For sure, you only need to disable time block and stamina cost for weapon swings, as this will be handled by Wildcat mod. I would also recommend to increase Dwarven Centurions and Dragon Priest HP multipliers a bit, on your taste. Oh, and yeah, for better compatibility purposes, it is recommended to use 2.7 version of this mod. Wildcat is another great combat mod that, what the better, plays greatly in team with Ultimate Combat, until some personal taste since you don't need to change anything here. Wonders of Weather adds rain splashes, rainbows and shooting stars. Settings are cosmetic and totally up to you. XPMSE is an amazing character skeleton mod that actually allows you to place equipped weapons in different badass positions and combine these positions for left and right hand weapons. All settings here are completely a matter of taste, so go wild. Oh, it seems I forgot to mention I need settings, most likely because I usually disable it when making showcases. So, I need is a primary needs mod that introduces hunger, thirst and fatigue, actually giving some sense to food, drinks and resting. It is also highly configurable and provides cozy widgets for all needed notifications. I recommend to set hunger, thirst and fatigue rates to 3. It will be still immersive but less intrusive. All other options are totally up to you, but I would also recommend to enable death option from too long time spent without food, water and sleep, to please the immersion god, right? Oh, and a side note but pretty important one. When installing this mod, do not choose dangerous diseases option. Exactly this, and don't worry, only this model was many times reported for causing crashes. Well, let's start the game. And here is the Winter Sun, a religion mod from Enhancements, which provides a complex system of worshipping, prayers, meditation and immersive rewards for this, and more than 40 deities to choose from. It is asking us if we want to choose our patron god right now or wait. It is up to you. You can change a deity to worship later in game too. So okay, let's speed up a bit until we will get out from this sunken mess. That's it folks, thank you for watching and I hope this video will be useful to you in your own journey. Remember that all mods that we were adjusting now in MCM are listed in video description. And in future videos, I will keep introducing my mod list step by step as well as demonstrating its gameplay. Don't forget to enable channel notifications and join our Discord to always stay in touch. Sinitar Gaming here, signing out.